Xiaomi released the Redmi Note 11 series back in February, and we're just finishing the long-term review of the device. But before it goes live, you might be wondering, is it worth upgrading from last year's Redmi Note 10? Matteo reviewed it a few months ago, and I've been using both models in parallel for a while now, so if you'd like to see how they both perform and which takes better photos and video, keep on watching. To start with the build quality, both phones have plastic backs, but Note 11 is matte, while Note 10 is smooth and much more prone to catching fingerprints. For this one, you should definitely get a case. Check our video on the Mophie case from AliExpress. Also, this year's model is more square and flat, similar to some Apple devices, while the last year's model is more round. Both phones are quite small when compared to some other devices, so they'd be a great choice if you're not a fan of huge phones. Of the two, this year's model is marginally smaller. For both of them, the smaller size is mostly thanks to the size of their screens, so let's discuss this now. Both sport lovely Full HD Plus 6.43 inches AMOLED screens, which are definitely highlights at this price point. As you'd expect from OLED technology, the contrast and blacks are really good. Both also support always-on displays. One major benefit of this year's model is that it supports 90Hz refresh rate, compared to last year's usual 60Hz. This should make the experience smoother, but I can't say the difference is too major, probably due to overall performance of both devices. That's because both use mid-range systems on chip from Qualcomm, the Snapdragon 678 on the Redmi Note 10 and Snapdragon 680 on the Note 11. The 680 is manufactured with 6nm transistors, compared to 11nm on the Redmi Note 10, so this year's device should have better battery life and energy efficiency. During daily usage, the performance of both is quite similar. I can't say they're very smooth compared to some flagships I've been using, but they're not too sluggish either for normal social media usage or browsing the internet. For higher-end gaming though, don't expect the best performance on either of those devices. For Genshin Impact, I had to use the low graphics quality on both devices, and the Redmi Note 10 still struggled, often dipping below 20 frames per second, which was visibly slow. For comparison, the Redmi Note 11 was visibly smoother at 30 frames per second usually, with no major slowdowns. Call of Duty Mobile worked fine on both devices. I played it on very high quality setting and medium frame rate, and got between 40 and 50 frames per second on the Note 10. Again, the Redmi Note 11 performed better here, clocking in at close to 60 frames per second most of the time. Coming back to battery life, both devices use 5000 mAh batteries, which is great to see. Redmi Note devices have always been great with battery life, and it's not different here either, especially when it comes to standby time, which is great. As mentioned, Redmi Note 11's chipset is more efficient, so the battery life is slightly better than on the last year's model. Both devices also come with 33W fast charging support. According to the manufacturer, in the case of Redmi Note 11, it's supposed to charge it in full in around 1 hour, while on the Note 10 it's 74 minutes. But I'd say both are fast enough, especially in this price range. When it comes to software, both devices are currently on Xiaomi's MIUI 13. The Note 11 came out with it out of the box, and it was built on top of Android 11. At the time of writing, towards the end of April, it has the February security update, which is quite good. While the Redmi Note 10 came out with MIUI 12.5, it has just been updated to MIUI 13 in mid-April, and that's really interesting. It's on Android 12, which is great to see. I'm sure we'll get the upgrade to Android 12 on the Redmi Note 11 soon though. However, I can't say I see too many differences between Android 11 and 12 on those devices. The new control center isn't available yet on either of them out of the box, so there's no major change here just yet. What's great is that both devices come with Xiaomi's side-mounted fingerprint scanners. One thing I noticed, however, is that on the Redmi Note 10, the screen doesn't always unlock on the first go. Sometimes I had to wake it up first, either by touching the fingerprint scanner or the screen, and then it would work fine. I initially thought this was due to always-on screen functionality, but it seems to happen both with and without it. I haven't experienced similar issues with the Redmi Note 11. It's been great and opens on the first go. Both devices also support face unlock, but I don't use it too much due to the great fingerprint scanner and lower security, so I'll leave it at that. Not much of a difference when it comes to connectivity. Both phones support 4G, and if you need 5G, you'll have to go with a different Redmi or a Poco device. Check my Poco M4 Pro 5G videos if you're interested. When it comes to audio, it's great to see that both devices have the carriage ports, aka 3.5mm audio jacks. Interestingly, it's at the top of the Redmi Note 11, which is my preference, but at the bottom of the Redmi Note 10. The good piece of news is that both devices have stereo speakers. For devices in this price range, they both performed quite well. I couldn't complain too much, and I didn't experience any issues. In my very non-scientific tests, the Note 11 came out a bit louder, but the difference wasn't too big or noticeable. Finally, let's discuss my favorite topic, cameras. On paper, the cameras are quite similar. The Note 11 has a 50MP f1.8 camera, while on the Note 10 it's a 48MP f1.8 camera. The other specs are very similar, 8MP ultrawide and two 2MP sticker cameras, macro and depth sensor. Both also have 13MP selfie cameras. Let's start with the main cameras. You'll see Note 10 on the left, Note 11 on the right. After reviewing around 30 pairs of photos shot in different situations, places, or even countries, the way I'd summarize the differences between them is as follows. In most cases, the photos on the Note 10 were brighter, with more dynamic range, and were usually sharper. The Note 11 photos were more saturated, with more punchy colors, often better for the outdoor photos. But when taking photos of people, the Note 11 photos are quite often either darker or more blurry, or even out of focus. From afar or on a smaller screen, you might not see much of a difference. And in some cases, like this amazing cake I had in Poland last week, the photos look nicer on the Redmi Note 11. Similarly, this portrait photo is warmer on the Note 11, but if you look closely, you'll see that the Note 11 is more blurry and there's some weird artifact with the plants behind me. And the most surprising case was with this photo of this tungsten light. Somehow, the Note 11 decided to make the photo grey, instead of the actual orange color I saw on the Note 10, my Pixel 6 Pro and my girlfriend's Poco F2 Pro. I had to switch to the Pro camera mode to get the right white balance, and the photo turned out just fine, but it was quite disappointing on the default settings. However, for ultra-wide photos, the performance is closer, and in some cases, the Redmi Note 11 does better, and with more accurate colors. The building in the background is overexposed in the left and more correct on the right. But again, some photos came out quite out of focus, which is not ideal. Don't expect the selfies to be great on either of the devices. And again, they seem to be out of focus and overblown on the Redmi Note 11 unfortunately. So overall, I think I'd go with the Redmi Note 10, as it's easy to add some saturation after taking the photo, but fixing out of focus or overblown photos is really difficult. Finally, let's quickly discuss video capabilities of both devices. And in here again, the Redmi Note 10 had a surprising advantage. Unfortunately, this year's model only supports video of up to Full HD and 30 frames per second, while the last year's model also supports 4K recording thanks to it being supported by the Snapdragon 678. I have to say I was quite surprised by that, as it's a major downgrade in this case. Also, the selfie camera on the Note 11 is very shaky, as you can see here and in the sample video we shared earlier, while the Note 10 didn't have this issue, so I'm not sure why this is happening. So for video recording, I'd go with the last year's model as well. What are my overall thoughts then? This year's model has a number of advantages. The performance and battery life are slightly better due to the chipset. I personally prefer the design with fewer fingerprints, and the actual fingerprint scanner is also better. But the camera quality is a significant downgrade for me, and especially the video capabilities. To me, those features are very important, so I would personally hold off with upgrading. And when picking between the two, I'd consider how often I'd be using this as a camera. Let us know what your choice would be in the comments below. That's it for today's video. Hope you found it useful. Make sure to check the comparison with the Poco M4 Pro 5G as well, and if you're not subscribed yet, make sure to do it with notifications switched on to see my long-term review of the Redmi Note 11 coming out soon. But for now, thanks for watching.